Let me go back to the foreign policy.
I say a lot of things about it, but it's whatever I say about it, it's real bad.
But let me stay focused for just a second, if I may.
That was supposed to be a softball interview between Sean Hannity of the propaganda network known as Fox and Donald Trump. But despite Sean Hannity quite literally coaching Donald Trump in real time what to say, it was completely unhinged. Donald Trump screwed it all up and showed exactly who he is, an incompetent, unhinged wannabe authoritarian. Here, Donald Trump just goes on a rant where he attacks Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer and uses the word Palestinian as an insult to attack Chuck Schumer. Listen to what he has to say. Play this clip.
And that they once had.
You'll give it to them.
Yeah, I'm good. But they don't have the backing. Even Schumer has become like a Palestinian. Chuck Schumer, Jewish, always strong for Israel. He's become like a Palestinian.
By the way, do you see the way Donald Trump even just looks in this video? I mean, he looks like complete crap. Then Sean Hannity says, okay, so you've said you want to be a dictator, Donald, on day one. You don't really mean that, do you? Like, I think that you're just saying that in jest, Donald, right? Tell the public you don't mean that. And Donald Trump refuses to say he doesn't mean that. He says that he wants retribution and he's going to try to attack his enemies. That's what he says. Here, play this clip.
You said, I would be dictator for the day and just to secure the border and drill for oil. I thought it was tongue-in-cheek. I was sitting there with you. However, my question is a very serious one. You know, people are claiming you want retribution. People are claiming you want what has happened to you done to Democrats. Would you do that ever?
Look, what's happened to me has never happened in this country before. And it has to stop because...
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. It has to stop.
Well, it does have to stop because we're not going to have a country.
And if you're
anymore.
elected, what does that mean? Define that.
Look, what I've gone through, nobody's ever gone through. I'm a very legitimate person. I built a great business. I have been under siege. Nobody's ever seen anything like this in this country. Now, in other countries,
And then as part of his meandering rant, Donald Trump wants to make it clear that he's a legitimate person, he says. Convicted felon, someone who's been found liable for sexual assault, civil fraud. He goes, I'm a legitimate person, right? That's something that legitimate people say all the time, right? You walk around saying, hey, you know, to your husband, wife, or spouse, or partner saying, I'm legitimate. I'm a legitimate person. Here, play this clip.
What I've gone through, nobody's ever gone through. I'm a very legitimate person. I built a great business.
Donald Trump then attacks the concept of global warming and goes, what are we talking about? The weather? The weather? Play this clip.
He said it's an existential threat. He loves the words existential threat. That global warming is an existential threat. And he doesn't know why. What is it? It's weather. And I'm all for that. You know what? I'm in a certain way, in a very powerful way, I'm an environmentalist.
Trump then says the only type of global warming he cares about is nuclear global warming. Play this clip.
The other night about that nuclear doesn't matter so much. What matters is, think of this, global warming. The only global warming that matters to me is nuclear global warming, because that's the real deal.
Donald Trump then brags about overturning Roe v. Wade. Play the clip.
Your question is a large question because you're asking about a lot of things. Take abortion. For 52 years, people wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade. And the people that wanted to do it were legal scholars, lawyers, politicians. Everybody wanted it to go back into the state system, not the federal system.
Let the states decide.
Let the states decide. The people decide. Let the states decide. For 52 years, they fought it. I was able to get it done with the appointment of great justices, 3 great justices, plus others that joined them, as you know. And we don't have to go into all the names, but they're great. And they had the courage to end Roe v. Wade, which really meant, from a legal standpoint, it now goes back to the states.
He then praises authoritarians abroad, Kim Jong-un, President Xi, Vladimir Putin. He says they're on top of their game. Play this clip.
President Xi of China, Putin, Kim Jong-un, all of these leaders are at the top of their game. Mentally, they're at the top of their game.
Trump then says he's seen the effects firsthand of nuclear weaponry. And I'm always talking about. Play the clip.
We're at the most dangerous point in the history of our country because of the power of weaponry, nuclear weapons in particular. Weapons that are so powerful and I've seen the effects. And I had an uncle, a great professor at MIT for many years. We used to talk about nuclear a lot. He understood nuclear very well.
He then praises the people who he calls my Supreme Court justices for overturning Roe v. Wade. Again, play this clip.
Great justices, 3 great justices, plus others that joined them, as you know. And we don't have to go into all the names, but they're great. And they had the courage to end Roe v. Wade, which really meant from a legal standpoint.
And then just so you see what a softball interview this was that Donald Trump screwed up, here Sean Hannity says to Donald Trump, look, you could be anywhere. You could be playing golf, but you're choosing to do this. Newsflash, he plays golf every single day. When he was disgracing the office, one of the 4 years, 1 full year, he was playing golf. And every single day this past week, he's been playing golf over and over again. Watch what a softball interview this was that Trump screwed up. Play this clip.
You don't have to be doing this. You could be playing golf every day and you probably wouldn't be charged with anything.
Well, I think I say it about almost all of these cases that are brought against me. They are doing it for the purposes of hurting a political opponent.
What if you could support family farmers and reduce your environmental imprint, all while enjoying the highest quality meat on earth? When you join the Moink movement, you can. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did, and as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should because the family farm, let's face it, does it better. And the Moink difference is a difference you can taste. Unlike the supermarket, Moink gives you total control over the quality and source of your food. You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes to chicken breast to pork chops to salmon fillets, and much more. Plus, you can cancel at any time. Moink is helping save rural America. I love it, and you will too. Join the Moink movement today. Shark Tank host Kevin O'Leary called Moink's bacon the best bacon he's ever tasted, and Ring Doorbell founder Jamie Siminoff jumped at the chance to invest in Moink. Plus, they guarantee you'll say, oink, oink, I'm just happy I got moinked. I know I do, and you will too. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch right now. And listeners of this show get free bacon for a year. That's 1 year of the best bacon you'll ever taste, but for a limited time. It's spelled MOINK box.com/MeidasTouch. That's moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch. So you take that and compare it to President Biden, who's in France, a country that Donald Trump is not allowed to even travel to because Donald Trump is a convicted felon after that was determined by a jury of Donald Trump's peers. But President Biden is in France, marking 80 years since D-Day, a very solemn day, D-Day, to commemorate the bravery of our troops, the bravery of the troops of our allies, the importance of America's alliances, showing what America is able to accomplish. I showed you those clips of Donald Trump screwing up the biggest softball interview. On the other hand, here's what President Biden had to say, walking the roads of the cemeteries he has. Play this clip.
Theirs has always been the story of America. Just walk the roads of this cemetery as I have. Nearly 10,000 heroes buried side by side. Officers and enlisted, immigrants and native born, different races, different faiths, but all Americans. All served with honor when America and the world needed them most. Millions back home did their part as well. From coast to coast, Americans found countless ways to pitch in. They understood our democracy is only as strong as all of us make it together. The men who fought here became heroes, not because they were the strongest or toughest or most fiercest, although they were, but because they were given an audacious mission, knowing, every one of them knew, the probability of dying was real. But they did it anyway. They knew beyond any doubt there are things that are worth fighting and dying for. Freedom is worth it. Democracy is worth it. America is worth it. The world is worth it. Then, now, and always. The war in Europe didn't end for another 11 months. But here, the tide turned in our favor. Here, we proved the forces of liberty are stronger than the forces of conquest. Here, we proved that the ideals of our democracy are stronger than any army or combination of armies in the entire world. We proved something else here as well, the unbreakable unity of the Allies.
And President Biden is not praising President Xi or Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin. President Biden is praising our allies and NATO. Play the clip.
The United States and NATO and a coalition of more than 50 countries standing strong with Ukraine. We will not walk away. Because if we do, Ukraine will be subjugated and will not end there. Ukraine's neighbors will be threatened. All of Europe will be threatened. And make no mistake, the autocrats of the world are watching closely to see what happens in Ukraine, to see if we let this illegal aggression go unchecked. We cannot let that happen. To surrender to bullies, to bow down to dictators is simply unthinkable. Were we to do that, it means we'd be forgetting what happened here in these hallowed beaches. Make no mistake, we will not bow down. We will not forget. Let me end with this. History tells us freedom is not free. If you want to know the price of freedom, come here to Normandy. Come to Normandy and look. Go to the other cemeteries in Europe where our fallen heroes rest. Go back home to Arlington Cemetery. Tomorrow, I will pay respects at Pointe du Hoc. Go there as well and remember, the price of unchecked tyranny is the blood of the young and the brave. In their generation, in their hour of trial, the Allied forces of D-Day did their duty. Now the question for us is, in our hour of trial, will we do ours?
And take a look at President Biden's reaction to the D-Day anniversary flyover right here. Play the clip. President Biden also met with a number of World War II veterans today. He said, "You saved the world," Biden told a World War II veteran, holding his arm and bending his knees to look into his eyes from close range. On the other hand, Donald Trump today announced that he will be speaking at the Danbury Institute this weekend. From the Danbury Institute's website, "Abortion must be ended. We will not rest until it is eradicated entirely." There you have it, folks. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thank you for watching. It's free to subscribe to our channel. You may also want to check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Thanks for watching.